Welcome back to the channel. This is Trinity Storm and you were watching first part of What If Naruto Became Heir of No Life Prince. If you enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze slowly strokes her pregnant 8-month belly, but her gaze occasionally wanders to her girls, all of whom are her students. The first is Anko Mitarashi, an 8-year-old former apprentice of Densetsu no Sannin trader Orochimaru. Hana Inuzuka, the daughter of her best friend Sume Inuzuka, is the second. Kurenai Yuhi, who is 8 years old and very skilled in genjutsu, comes in third. Yugao Izuki, age 8, is her formal kenjutsu apprentice. Sensei, do you know what gender your baby will be? Yugao inquires, her purple hair gathered in a loose ponytail and her chocolate eyes inquiring. Kushina rubs her stomach softly, a boy, and we're naming him Naruto, she says. Fishcake, Hana says, her dark eyes wide with confusion and her brown hair pulled back in a ponytail. No. Maelstrom, and it's the name of the main character in Lord Jiraiya's book, says Kushina. I bet he'll be handsome like the Yondaime, Anko says, her pupil-less brown eyes twinkling and her black-blue hair in a fan ponytail. Kurenai comments, her black hair free, he might get Lady Kushina's red hair too, and Kushina laughs and looks down into her red eyes. You never know, but girls. I need you to promise me something, Kushina begins, capturing their attention. If something happens to me or Minato. Promise me you'll protect Naruto, Kushina says, and everyone nods. We promise, Sensei, they all say at the same time. Their pact, however, would be put to the test when Kushina died on the night of Naruto's birth. The Kyuubi no Yoko was unleashed on their village, killing many people, including their beloved Yondaime Hokage, who sealed the titanic fox within their son. The former Sandaime Hiruzen Sarutobi retook the office of Hokage and announced Naruto was the Jinchuriki of the said beast in a bit of naivety. The news was met with rage and hatred for the newborn, forcing the Kage to enact a law prohibiting anyone from discussing the Kyuubi, but this would fail miserably. They did everything they could to keep Naruto safe, but 4 against an entire village? Each of them met Naruto at a different point in his life, with Hana being the first to meet him when the 5-year-old blonde brought a small fox kit to her family's clinic. Hana tried and succeeded in making friends with the cute little blonde, but her younger brother ruined it. Yugu came next because she was his Anbu guard and protected him from various mobs. The 7-year-old frequently referred to her as his big sister Neko, but all she could do was protect him from afar. Anko and Kurenai were the next to meet the now 10-year-old blonde, after finding him after a group of former graduates and Chunin had brutally assaulted him on his first day at the academy. They stayed with the blonde until he awoke and begged the Hokage to take him in, but the older man refused. Over the next 3 years, the 4 Ice Queens, as they were now known, did everything they could to protect Naruto and put themselves in positions to assist. Hana joined the Hunter Corps, while Yugao became an Anbu captain. Anko was promoted to second in command to Ibiki Morino of the T&I department, and Kurenai was appointed Konoha's Genjutsu mistress. 13 years after the Kyuubi incident. Naruto Uzumaki clutches his head and looks around, realizing he was in what appeared to be a tomb. Where? What happened? He wondered. The last thing he remembers is a swarm of civilians and shinobi chasing him in preparation for their annual fox hunt. That's right. Someone used Doten Jutsu, but where am I? Says Naruto. You have found yourself in the tomb of a creature from a bygone era, a raspy voice says. Naruto spins around in terror, but sees nothing. Hello? He asks. Pardon me, but I don't seem to be able to move. So just follow my voice, Naruto Uzumaki, the voice says. Naruto looks around in terror, but bats suddenly swirl around him, causing him to flee to his right. Good. A little closer, says the voice. Naruto looks around in fear. I wish my big sisters were here, he says, but falls on his buttocks as moonlight shines into the tomb. You can see me now, the voice says. Naruto's blue eyes widened as he noticed a severely emaciated man on a stone throne dressed in really old clothes he didn't recognize. WW, who are you? Naruto asks, his tone fearful. Something that should never see the light of day, the man says, leaning back into the shadows. Why? Asks Naruto. Fear. Naive people feared my power and locked me away. Quite like you. People hate and fear you too, the man says, raising his left hand and clenching his fist. Why would you care? Says Naruto, furrowing his brow and forming a scowl on his face. I don't, but your thoughts are an open book. Why do they hate me? Who are my parents? Why can't they leave me alone? The man says, making Naruto even more upset. Shut up! Yells Naruto, and the man laughs raspily. Sorry, I meant no offense, but what would you do if you had those answers? What if you had the power to change things? Get the respect you richly deserve? Explore your feelings for your big sisters? The man says, his voice hypnotic. Naruto didn't realize what was in front of him, but he nods slowly and the man grins, showing enlarged canine teeth. Come closer now. I'll give you a gift. Power beyond the ages, the man says. Naruto slowly approaches the stone throne but comes to a halt when the man raises his right hand before cutting open his left wrist and allowing thick black blood to flow into a small stone bowl. Drink and become my progeny. Just as I was dubbed the No-Life Prince. I shall christen thee Naruto Uzumaki. No-Life Duke, the man declares. Naruto kneels slowly and picks up the bowl before drinking the black blood, but his eyes widen. Naruto drops the bowl and begins coughing violently as if liquid fire was passing down his throat, causing him to scream and claw at his throat. Naruto's screams reverberate throughout the tomb as his body convulses and slowly changes. His peach skin pales a shade, his ocean blue eyes gain a steely tint, and the whites of his eyes turn black as night before returning to normal. Naruto continues to writhe on the floor as the man cracks, live. Naruto. My new son, he says before collapsing into ashes. Naruto's screams fade and he lies motionless for 10 minutes before slowly rising to his feet. I think the demon fell in here. Fuck, it's dark. Who wants to go in there? Say several voices. Naruto raises his eyes to the hole, his eyes glowing in the darkness, and a wide smile forms on his face, wide enough to split his face. On the surface, a mob of about 20 civilians and shinobi were staring at the hole dug by one of the group's jonin. Damn it, Jiro. Why did you have to use a Doton jutsu? Exclaims one kunoichi. She is dressed in the standard Konoha uniform, which consists of a blue long-sleeved shirt, dark blue pants, and an olive-green flak jacket. She has long blonde hair, brown eyes, a round face, and a mole beneath her right eye. Fuck you, Maki. I thought I'd catch the demon brat, Jiro exclaims. He is a plain jonin dressed in the standard Konoha uniform, with black hair and eyes. One of you will have to go in there and drag the demon brat out, someone else says. He has bluish-white hair and a scruffy face, and he's dressed in a Konoha uniform with a chunin vest. Oh, don't worry. You won't have to do all that, a voice hisses, and everyone looks around, but no one is there. Suddenly, a civilian screams as something unseen rips his throat out. What was that? Exclaims Maki. Who the fuck is here? Someone else exclaims. As a thick fog rolls in, a sadistic but childish laughter echoes around the mob. Death is here, the voice croons. The ninja in the group draw their weapons, but several screams erupt as the civilians are drawn into the fog, snapping and breaking bones as blood pools on the ground. "Damn it, someone get rid of this mist!" yells Jiro. A second kunoichi blows a gust of wind through the fog, revealing civilian corpses in pieces, causing her to scream, but her head falls from her shoulders with a spray of blood. Tinker Tailor. Soldier Sailor. "What will you do, Mizuki-sensei?" the voice calls out, before a black shadow rushes the group. Mizuki looks around as a ninja's head is ripped from his shoulder and a kunoichi is cut in half in the shadows. "Damn it. Kaiten. Jikaki no Jutsu," Jiro yells, ejecting a jet of flames that only strikes Maki, her dying screams filling the area as she rolls around in agony. "Oh, you missed me," the voice mocks. Mizuki draws a large Fuma shuriken from his back, but his body jerks forward and blood spews from his mouth. Mizuki's eyes widen as he sees the bloody form of Naruto. "D-Demon B brat?" He sputters as Naruto rips his hand out. "Guilty, but I am far worse now," sneers Naruto, displaying 2 rows of sharp teeth. Jiro and the other ninja witness Mizuki's collapse. "Finally showed your true colors, you fucking brat," Jiro exclaims. Naruto says nothing but tilts his head, a blank expression on his face, and makes a fist. Jiro was about to charge Naruto when the ground's shadows bubbled and burst through their bodies. Naruto quickly falls from his high and collapses to his knees, then to his side as all of their blood flows towards him and into his body as he passes out. Anko, Kurenai, Hana, and Yugu race through the forests outside Konoha looking for Naruto. "Damn it. Why does Hokage-sama let this happen?" Anko hisses. "It doesn't matter. What matters is that we find Naruto," Kurenai says. Hana sniffs the air and her breath catches, up ahead. "I smell Naruto but also a lot of blood," she says shakily, and they all accelerate. The group arrives at a small clearing and gasps at the sight of over 20 mutilated bodies, but in the center stood a motionless Naruto. "Naruto?" Anko exclaims as she rushes towards him. She quickly kneels down and turns him on his back to check for a pulse, but she doesn't get one in the first few seconds, causing tears to form, but a beat echoes and she picks him up. "We need to go now." "He's fading," Anko exclaims, and the others gasp before racing back to the village. "Medic!" she yells 10 minutes later as the 4 enter the hospital, with Naruto in Anko's arms. A few med nin rush to them, but when they see who it is, they turn away, but the combined ki of the 4 forces them to take care of Naruto. "I'll get Lord Hokage," Yugo says before disappearing via leaf shunshin. The others follow the med nin and hope for some good news. Naruto makes his way through a sewer in ankle-deep blood, eventually arriving at a set of iron gates with a paper with a seal on it. "So my warden graces me with his presence and the stench of the accursed leech," a growling voice says. Within the darkness of the cell, 2 large red eyes with black slits open, causing Naruto's eyes to narrow. "Kyubi," says Naruto, and a wide grin spreads across the cell. "Perceptive little leech," hisses Kyubi. "Why do you call me a leech?" "Because of what I am now," says Naruto. "Of course, you'll need blood to survive like a leech, but at least you won't be weak," Kyubi says, revealing himself to be a large orange fox with human arms and upper body. "Oh, I'm no longer weak. Thanks to those idiots, I now know several ninja and their skills." "Seems a moment of weakness helped," says Naruto. "Don't think it'll help you." "Now leave me, leech," Kyubi says. The 4 ice queens and the Sandame wait for Naruto to awaken in the waking world, but the blonde slowly sits up. "Naruto-kun," says Hiruzen. "Hey Gramps." "Big sisters," Naruto says as he slowly opens his eyes, giving the older man pause. "Thank God you're okay," says Hiruzen. "When were you going to tell me I had the Kyubi?" Naruto asks, and Hiruzen freezes, giving the old man a grim expression. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, but I wanted to give you a normal childhood, but I failed, Hiruzen admits, but Anko laughs. Then why announce his position as Lord Third? Asks Anko. There were too many people who saw the Kyuubi. I needed to calm the people down, Hiruzen explains. A lot of good it did, and because of it, I nearly died, Naruto says as he shifts his legs off the bed. However, because of it, I was reborn, Naruto says, startling them. Naruto begins to recount the events of the previous night, including how Mizuki lured him to the mob and how they chased him into the forests outside the village. From Jiro opening the tomb and falling inside, to meeting the No-Life Prince and becoming the new No-Life Duke, everything has happened in a flash. The five were taken aback by the amount of information revealed at the end of the explanation, but the Sandaime appears even more bleak. Why would you take such a deal, Naruto-kun? Asks Hiruzen. Why not Gramps? If I hadn't, I'd be dead. Now that I have power, no one can hurt me anymore, Naruto responds. The blonde could feel the power coursing through his veins, his vision was sharper, and his hearing could pick up on his big sister's and grandfather's heartbeats. Anko suddenly pulls Naruto into her chest, and he feels her warmth and scent, which makes him hungry but he ignores. It doesn't matter what you become. We care about you, says Anko. Anko is correct. You are our little brother, Hana says, as Kurenai and Yugo nod. Hiruzen even smiles at the thought. Listen, Naruto-kun. These four have a connection to your parents, he begins. They know my mother, but they couldn't tell me her name, Naruto interjects, and Hiruzen sighs, looking at the four. I see. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki, but your father. I can't tell you because of his wishes, but I will tell you. He loved you with all his heart, Hiruzen says, and Naruto nods slowly. How will Naruto handle his new changes? Hana asks. I'm sure the prisons are full of people awaiting execution or some idiot trying to kill me, says Naruto. I can't have you strolling through the prisons or murdering the villagers, but I'll come up with something, Hiruzen says. What about the academy? He can't go back, Anko says. Then there's the council, Hiruzen sighs and rubs his brow. Tell them it's a Kekkei Genkai. I'm not sure if this can be passed down to children, but frankly, I don't care, says Naruto. After 3 years. Hiruzen sits behind his desk, his gaze fixed on the 16-year-old before him, who appears to be 18. He stands about 5 feet 9 inches tall, with a lean but muscular frame and blonde hair shaved on the sides and slicked back with several black streaks. Hiruzen placed Naruto in the Anbu under Yugo 3 years ago after the incident, but he didn't expect the blonde to adapt like a fish in water. Naruto was now an Anbu captain with the codename Kaiketsuki, which translates to vampire, and his most trusted member. Take off your mask, Naruto-kun, says Hiruzen. Naruto pulls down the beaked hood of a black dress uniform jacket with an orange lining along the torso and the lower half of the coat forming 2 tails, revealing a pale white mask with no mouth or nose but a black eye patch over the left eye and a black tear streak in the right socket. Is there something wrong, Gramps? Asks Naruto. His outfit consists of black combat breeches with suspenders that are tucked into calf-length combat boots that are adorned with several seals. A long-sleeved, form-fitting gray shirt, over which is a high-collar black but sleeveless uniform jacket with an orange zipper, waist buttons, and black gloves. I'll need you to join a genin team in a month, Hiruzen says, and Naruto frowns, his left hand in his pocket rubbing his neck. Are you demoting me to genin? Asks Naruto, but Hiruzen shakes his head. No, you will not be a chunin, and you will not be required to do D ranks, but I want you to look after Sasuke Uchiha and Hinata Hyuga. Sasuke is a flight risk, and Hiashi Hyuga wants his daughter protected outside the village. So who better than Kaiketsuki, Hiruzen explains. Alright, but if he shows any signs of running, I'll ask to have him locked up and milked until his balls fall off, Naruto says, looking at his father's picture. Of course, and happy hunting.
I know you've got a special night planned, Hiruzen says as he walks to the window. That's true.
They'll need to be fed, Naruto says as he leaps out the window, bursting into a swarm of crows and flying away. Naruto arrives at his apartment complex in the heart of the red light district, which he now owns and has renovated. The blonde bought the building a year after joining Anbu and, with the help of shadow clones, renovated it to his liking, converting one floor into a workout room with a jacuzzi heated by seals, another into a meditation floor, and another 4 floors for rent, with the top floor his own. Naruto takes the keys from his pocket, unlocks the door, and removes his boots. Is anyone here? Yells Naruto. In the living room, yells a pair of voices. Naruto enters and finds Hana and Kurenai on the sofa, along with Hana's Ninken and the Haimaru triplets. Naruto smiles warmly and takes a seat on the love seat, as the oldest of the triplets, Shiro, approaches for scritches, followed by his sister Suki and brother Hiro. What did Lord Third want? Kurenai inquires. He wants me to be a part of a genin team, a protection detail for Sasuke and Hinata, Naruto explains, and Kurenai frowns. Kurenai remarks, she's become no different than her father now, and Suki approaches to console her. Don't remind me, both of you have become very snobbish. Will you still take a team? Asks Naruto. Kurenai rubs Suki's head, if you plan on turning us tonight. It wouldn't be prudent, she says, giving him a look. True and Gramps gave us the go-ahead. So when Yugo and Anko get here, I'll start, Naruto says sheepishly, and the door opens as Yugo and Anko enter the apartment. Your timing is impeccable. Gramps has given us the go-ahead, Naruto says, and Anko laughs. So we finally get to be sexy vampires with our Naruto, Anko says, smirking. We also get to clip the diseased roots from the great tree, adds Naruto. Hana put her puppies in their room and went to Naruto's room. The room features a 3-poster bed with dark sheets and curtains, a bookcase, and a large closet. Taking this step is taking our relationship to the next level. No longer will we be just siblings. We'll be bonded forever. Naruto begins as the 4 kneel in front of him in a semicircle. All of them nod. We promised Lady Kushina that we would protect you, and this is us keeping that promise, Yugu says. Plus, we can properly become lovers and help you rebuild the Uzumaki clan, Anko says. Naruto sighs and rolls up his sleeve, allowing black-red blood to flow into 4 black goblets. Now drink and become my dark ice queens, says Naruto. Each slowly picks up the goblets and examines the black-red liquid, then drinks the contents slowly but quickly. They drop the goblets and immediately go into convulsions and writhe in pain, clutching their throats with muffled screams. Naruto is transfixed by their slowly changing forms, their skin paling a shade and, in the case of Anko, her curse mark breaking down and vanishing. Kurenai's red eyes glow brightly and turn to a glowing purple before returning to normal, while the white of her eyes turn black before returning to normal. Hana, Anko, and Yugo experience the same thing, with small hisses escaping their mouths to reveal their now long canines. The 4 soon stop moving as Naruto rises from the floor, but the 4 begin to move, hissing with delight as they fix their gaze on Naruto. Now then, shall we pluck the roots? Croons Naruto, and all 4 grin, their purple eyes glowing and their teeth gleaming. Location is unknown. Danzo Shimura, an elder of Konoha known as the Shinobi no Yami, makes his way through the underground base of his private Anbu known as Root or Nay. The sound of his brown cane clacking along a bridge, but 2 men kneel in front of him. Lord Danzo. Our sensor reports 5 individuals infiltrating, One of them, Fu Yamanaka, says. Do our sensors recognize them? Asks Danzo. One has a very large chakra pool. It could be the Jinchuriki, the second, Torun Aburame, says. Has Hiruzen finally decided to make a move? Danzo thought as he gripped his cane with a narrowed eye. Have our forces guide the Jinchuriki to me. Secure the remaining 4. I will use Shisui's eye, Danzo orders, and both vanish. Danzo drops his cane and removes his robe's ostensibly missing right arm, revealing 3 golden locks. Hiruzen, you made a critical mistake, Danzo thought as he began to remove the locks. After several minutes, each lock strikes the bridge, but footsteps echo, causing Danzo's eyes to narrow. You're arrogant to come here, boy, Danzo says as Naruto emerges from the shadows with the head of Fu in his hand but missing his right arm. Perhaps. Interesting tools you have. Their timing was near flawless. I even lost an arm in the process. Anko will put those nanoscopic insects to good use, Naruto says, dropping Fu's head and narrowing Danzo's eye. Sasuke would be livid to learn you possess the eyes of his clan, Naruto says, cracking his knuckles as he sees Danzo's right arm full of Sharingan eyes. Danzo does not respond and rushes toward Naruto, extending his right arm for a punch, which Naruto blocks with his left. The blonde vampire raises his right stump, and his arm reforms into a spear, ready to pierce Danzo's head, but he fades away. You can even regrow lost limbs, Danzo says as he appears behind Naruto, but he fades away as several black chains burst through him. Interesting technique, and your mind is sharp too, Danzo, Naruto says as he shifts his gaze to another bridge and sees Danzo standing upside down. You can even read minds. I see Hiruzen will use you to get rid of me, but it will be I who gets rid of him, Danzo says as he weaves several signs before coming to a halt at the dog. FTON. Shinkoku, Danzo says, exhaling several gusts of wind. As the wind bullets tear through the bridge, Naruto dodges, but Danzo avoids his strike, landing on the partially destroyed bridge. A loud bang echoes, and Danzo gasps as a red spot forms on his chest, only to fade away again. Naruto lands on the spot, holding a smoking Colt Peacemaker in his right hand, but jerks as shuriken coated in wind blades sever both of his arms. Danzo appears with Shunshin and grabs Naruto's throat, but his severed right arm moves and fires into Danzo's face, clipping off a portion of his jaw. As Naruto rams his regrown left arm through Danzo's chest, he staggers back with a wide eye. It's pointless, boy, Danzo says, now a distance behind Naruto. Naruto. I think I figured out his technique, says a voice. I commend you for catching me in a genjutsu, but it is still a far cry from Uchiha. Kurenai Yuhi. Danzo jerks as he finds himself bound by rose thorns that form a tree. This is not my usual genjutsu. I discovered Yakumo Kurama in your clutches. Monster, Kurenai says as he emerges from the rose thorn tree. Why do you care? You abandoned the girl because you were afraid of her power running wild. Tools are meant to be used, not thrown away, Danzo says. You turned her in one of your mindless drones, Kurenai screams as her fangs lengthen and pass through her blood-stained lips. Kurenai, stop. Naruto yells, but she slashes off Danzo's head. Kurenai exclaims, what? As Danzo fades away. Danzo has a jutsu that allows him to overcome death, says Naruto. FTON. Shink Renpa, Danzo yells, slicing through Kurenai and Naruto. Kurenai loses her right arm and has a deep cut into her chest, while Naruto's back is cut open, but he grabs Kurenai and flees to place her on another bridge. FTON. Shinkjin, Danzo says, creating a wind scimitar with his kunai. I can't keep wasting Izanagi on him. I'll have to use Shisui's eye, Danzo reasoned as he noticed Naruto drop down in front of him. The blonde raises his left arm, revealing the hilt of a sword before slowly drawing a guardless Chikudo from his arm. "Prepare yourself, Danzo," Naruto says as they both charge at each other. As both blades pierce their chests and out their backs, Danzo removes the bandage from his right eye and aims his weapon with his left. "No boy. Become my tool," Danzo exclaims as his gaze shifts to a 4-point pinwheel. Several seconds pass as Danzo looks Nagato in the eyes, but the blonde's face is shadowed, causing a slight smirk to form on his face, which quickly transforms into shock. Danzo's chakra was being drained as kanji began to scroll across his body. "What?" he exclaims. "Ha ha ha. Your arrogance is your undoing, Danzo," says Naruto. "Why didn't Koto Amatsukami work?" hisses Danzo, spitting up some blood. Naruto sneers and opens his mouth wide as his eyes bleed red with black slits. "Oh, it came close, but Kyuubi hates being someone's pet," he sneers and opens his mouth wide. "You tried to make me your dog." "Well, you're dog food," Naruto says, biting into Danzo's throat. "And no. Is this my end?" Beaten by a petulant child, Konoha's shadow screamed in pain as Naruto gorged on his lifeblood. "Huh. I'll have to ask Tenzo on how to use the Mokaton," Naruto thought as his body gurgled and slowly drew Danzo's body into his own. Anko, Hana, Yugo, and Kurenai jumped down, the latter still recovering from her injuries. "Are you okay, Kurenai?" asks Naruto. "Yes, and I apologize for falling for Danzo's tricks," Kurenai says. Naruto shakes his head and waves his hand. "It's nothing." "Anything of note?" he asks. "No, we killed everyone here, including the children, and we got them out with clones," Hana says. Naruto creates a dozen clones, orders them to sweep Danzo's office and seal off the areas, and they all vanish. "So a sex orgy now," Anko says, and Naruto sighs, shaking his head and laughing softly. "Yeah. We need to work off all this adrenaline," Naruto says, and everyone smiles. Some villagers recognize Naruto and give him dark looks as he walks through the village with blue-tinted sunglasses over his eyes. The blonde is dressed in blue jeans and black harness boots, a white dress shirt, a black suit vest, and a three-tailed long coat. "Hello, Ayame." "5 miso ramen," Naruto says as he arrives at Ichiraku Ramen. Ayame nods and smiles. "Dad." "5 miso," she exclaims. "How are things going?" Ayame inquires. "Things are well. I gotta join a genin team soon. The old man wants me to interact with people my own age," Naruto muses as he lifts his sunglasses. "Will you be okay with your you-know?" Ayame inquires as Tucci brings a bowl of ramen over. "I should be fine," says Naruto as he begins his first bowl, followed by his remaining 4 in quick succession. An Anbu with the name Kame appears behind Naruto and says, "Hokage-sama wishes to see you," before disappearing. Naruto sighs and reaches into his suit vest for some money, saying, "See ya, Ayame." "Old man," before slipping his glasses back on and disappearing with Shunshin. Naruto arrives at the Hokage Tower and goes up to Hiruzen's office, where he finds the older man hard at work, or rather reading an orange book. "You wanted to see me, Gramps," says Naruto. Hiruzen quickly puts his book down and clears his throat. "Yes. I take it things went well?" he inquires. Naruto reaches into his coat and pulls out a silver case, opening it to reveal a black cigarette lit with a silver Zippo.
It did.
"That bastard had a right arm full of Sharingan and Lord First cells," Naruto begins, and Hiruzen's breath catches. "Damn you, Danzo," Hiruzen says quietly, beckoning for Naruto to continue. He even had Shisui Uchiha's eye, which is now mine. Along with all his knowledge, says Naruto, pulling a scroll from a seal on his glove. All of Danzo's dealings are inside, and it runs deep, Naruto adds. Hiruzen examines the scroll. How long before they can return to active duty? He wonders. About a month or two. I'm keeping them confined to the apartment. I know this will interfere with Kurenai taking a Genin team, Naruto says, but Hiruzen waves his hand away. I planned for that. Genma will take over as sensei of Team 8 for the time being. You'll be on the most recent iteration of Team 7, Hiruzen explains. The door opens, and the two remaining Konoha elders, Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatain, enter with semi-serious expressions on their faces. Hiruzen, we need to speak with you, Kaharu says to Naruto. By your leave, Lord Third, Naruto says, tipping his sunglasses down into a bow. You give that boy too much freedom, says Homura. In what regard? He is a capable Anbu captain and near S-rank shinobi, Hiruzen says as he leans back in his chair and grabs his pipe. Putting that aside. That accursed bloodline of his, Kaharu says, snorting. It is only cursed because he refuses to give it to those on the council who desire it. You should be aware that Naruto has changed. Kurenai Yuhi, Yugo Uzuki, Hana Inuzuka, and Anko Mitarashi are some of the characters. When I announced his full heritage, the four agreed to be his wives once the council called for the CRA, Hiruzen claims. What? Exclaims Kaharu. Naruto is the son of Minato and Kushina, whether you like it or not. I gave in to the council's pressure but no longer, Hiruzen says, and both elders remain silent as they walk to the door. You should be the first to know, but Danzo is no longer alive, Hiruzen adds, but both remain silent, their eyes widening in shock. Why do you keep coming here? Kyuubi asks as Naruto lands with a kick-up of dust in his hands. Naruto walks towards a familiar stone throne. I was born again here. He gave me the ability to transform and become powerful, he muses as he blows a stream of smoke. You picked up some of his bad habits, Kyuubi says, chuckling. Not like it'll kill me, Naruto says as he taps some ashes. Why did you withhold information from the old man? Asks Kyuubi. Naruto looks up at the 6-year-old hole. I am loyal to him, but I am not completely dependent on him. If he perishes in Orochimaru's botched invasion, then I'll depart, taking my queens with me, he claims. Konoha would not allow you to leave. You're their beloved 4th Hokage's son and my jailer. They'd pursue you to the ends of the earth, Kyuubi expresses himself. Maybe, but I'm stronger than them. I can pass through the 8 gates without dying. I have access to all of Danzo's information and Konoha's dark dealings. I've even got Koto Amatsukami, Naruto says, and Kyuubi darkly chuckles. It's too bad I can't be set free. I'd like to see this village get their comeuppance, Kyuubi expresses himself. There is a way for that to happen, says Naruto, to which Kyuubi roars. I will not be a part of you, leech. Not any more than I am, Kyuubi yells. Naruto smirks and rubs his right ear. Right, he says. Back in time, 2 years ago. You intend to set me free, the Titanic Fox says as Naruto stands before the Kyuubi's gate. Yes. I have no need for you, Naruto rolls his neck several times. The blood rises beneath Naruto and lifts him towards the seal, allowing him to begin to pull it down, but his own hand is grabbed. 4th Hokage. Kyuubi roars as Naruto and the man drop down in front of the gate. Hello, father, says Naruto. Minato looks at his son but then to Kyuubi. Naruto, he says, but the blonde punches him in the stomach, knocking him over. That is for preferring the village over your own son, says Naruto. I deserve that, but I wanted to keep the balance of the villages and I didn't have time to contemplate, Minato says as he rises to his feet. Naruto sighs and looks at Kyuubi. Whatever the case may be, your actions have made my life a living hell. I had thrown away so much of my humanity, he claims. I know because I saw everything through the seal. I had no idea such a being existed, according to Minato. Then, thanks to becoming a vampire, I can free the Kyuubi from the seal, says Naruto. That is correct, but the Death Reaper seal connects your souls. The Kyuubi would have escaped the moment your heart stopped beating. He should have been released, but he wasn't, Minato elaborates. Kyuubi screams in rage, looking at Naruto, then I am forever linked to this leech. He screams. Schrodinger's cat, says Naruto, confusing Minato and Kyuubi. It's something I discovered after becoming a vampire. It's essentially saying Kyuubi is both dead and alive. Because of you, he's been cut in half, says Naruto. Minato frowns and looks at his son, Naruto. I can't stop you from tearing the seal, but I strongly advise you not to. Because you will require his strength, he says as he furrows his brow. Minato reaches out and touches Naruto's head, causing a flood of memories to flood his mind. I believe this man will return, and you will need all of your strength to stop him, Minato says. Naruto clenches his left fist, but someone hugs him from behind, causing him to look back. Kushina? Minato exclaims, but notices the seal is partially ripped. When he partially broke the seal, my chakra manifested, Kushina whispers as she hugs Naruto. Naruto strokes his mother's arm while looking at his father. My life hasn't been easy. I've been suffering for years, but despite everything, I have people who care about me. I also know that my parents loved and died for me, he murmurs. Kushina sniffles softly and pulls away from Naruto, looking at Minato. Oh, our love reached him, she says quietly. It did. Naruto, our time together is coming to an end, but know that we love you and are proud of you. Whatever you decide to do, Minato says as he embraces Naruto. I'll make you proud, says Naruto as Minato fades away. Naruto. I'll give you something, Kushina says as she touches Naruto's cheek, causing her to glow and causing Naruto to gasp. Goodbye, my sweet child. Live a happy life, Kushina says this as she fades away. Finish the flashback. Naruto closes his eyes as red tears stream down his cheeks, sniffles, and leaps out of the tomb. Naruto weaves several signs and shuts the tomb, but his eyes narrow as he returns his gaze to a kneeling Nei operative. She has short, straight black hair, dark eyes, and pale skin that appears translucent. Have you gathered all the other operatives, Sai? Asks Naruto. Yes, Lord Naruto, but will Hokage-sama accept your decisions? Sai asks. She is dressed in a short black and gray jacket with red straps, a high-collar midriff shirt, black pants, shinobi sandals, and gloves that expose her index and thumb fingers. I'll be loyal to him, and he'll be loyal to me. Gramps still requires a force like Nei for the time being. However, if he refuses, I will take your souls as my own, Naruto says, and a clone appears next to him. Take this clone and indoctrinate the members, Naruto orders, as both of them vanish. Hey. You're a very dark little leech, Kyuubi expresses himself. Naruto sighs as he looks up at the sky, perhaps, but both light and dark are required to survive in this world. I should return, he says as he fades away in a flash. Anko, dressed in booty shorts and a white sports bra, stretches like a cat on a sofa. Man, this will take some getting used to, Anko muses as she makes a fist and her right arm turns completely purple. I agree that I can create genjutsu that is so real that I can trick someone into death, Kurenai says, sitting on a love seat with a rueful expression on her face. She is dressed in tights and a thin sweater. Naruto did say. We would gain the abilities of those we devour, Hana says, dressed in shorts and a bra. I learned a few new kenjutsu styles, Yugo says, dressed similarly to Anko in cleaning her sword. Well, the only good thing that's come out of this is that I no longer have that bastard's mark, Anko says, smirking. Well, another good thing, Anko adds, and they all laugh. But it's a shame we'll have to stay here for a while. I can't even keep the triplets close or see my mother, Hana makes a comment. Your desire for blood is still too strong. I don't want you to kill someone by accident, Naruto says as he rises from the floor and removes his coat. My clone should be finished with the remains of Nei, the blonde says as he takes a seat in a recliner. Kurenai inquires, have you informed the Hokage? But Naruto shakes his head. Not yet, but I will tell him later, says Naruto. So, what will you need to learn? Anko inquires. In thought, Naruto cups his chin, not a lot. Transforming, telepathy, shapeshifting, and similar abilities. We have about a month to complete it, he says, to which all four of them nod. Konoha Academy 1 month later. Iruka Amino, the Academy's head instructor, looks over his notes before shifting his gaze to the current graduating class, which includes children from the great clans of Konoha. Aburame, Akamichi, Hyuga, Inuzuka, Nara, Uchiha, and Yamanaka are some of the families. Alright, everyone relax, Iruka says. He wears the standard Konoha uniform but with a Chunin flak vest and has brown hair in a ponytail with a scar across the bridge of his nose. You are now the proud genin of Konoha. I've enjoyed being your teacher, but it's time for us to part ways. I'll now announce your respective genin cells. That is as follows. Iruka begins and leads the first 6 teams. Team 7 consists of the rookie and kunoichi of the year, Sasuke Uchiha and Hinata Hyuga. Kakashi Hatake is your sensei, and Iruka says, but his breath becomes choppy. Who is Iruka sensei? Hinata inquires. She has long dark blue hair cut in a Heim style, a fair complexion, and her clan's signature featureless white eyes with a lavender tint. Iruka swallows and clears his throat, sorry.
Chunin Naruto Uzumaki is your third teammate, he says, and several people murmur.
The Dobi is A. Didn't he pass away or something? Says Sasuke. His eyes are black, and he has spiky black hair with a blue tint that frames his face. No, I made it. A Jonin took pity on me and I became a proper shinobi as a result, says a voice. Iruka looks to the door and sees Naruto standing there wearing a Chunin vest and a Hitai around his neck, and Naruto, he says. He's dressed in black combat pants and knee-length boots, as well as a sleeveless dark blue uniform jacket with a white zipper and waist buttons. A long-sleeved mesh shirt and white gloves with a dark blue palm are worn underneath. It's great to see you, Chunin Amino. I'll bring my team to meet our sensei, Naruto says as he adjusts his sunglasses. Iruka clears his throat again, saying, allow me to finish team placements, to which Naruto nods. Okay, where was I? Kiba Inuzuka, Sakura Haruno, and Shino Aburame make up O Team 8. Due to Kurenai Yuhi's illness, your temporary sensei is Genma Shiranui. Team 9 is still active, and Team 10 is made up of Choji Akamichi, Ino Yamanaka, and Shikaku Nara. Asuma Sarutobi is your sensei, Iruka completes. Well, may they go now? Naruto asks, lifting his sunglasses to his brow.
Yes.
Sasuke. Hinata, follow Naruto, Iruka says, and the two get up from their seats. Several of Sasuke's fangirls scoff at Hinata and Naruto for being on Sasuke's side. Why is he on Sasuke's side? Kun's Sakura screams, but Iruka tells her to be quiet. Our sensei is notorious for being late, but I know where he is, says Naruto as he leads the pair out of the academy. Naruto, where have you been? You simply disappeared 3 years ago, Hinata states. As the sun beats down on him, Naruto tilts his sunglasses down. As I previously stated, a Jonin took pity on me and trained me outside the village. As a result of it, I was promoted to Genin and am now a Chunin, he elaborates. HN. Then it must have been easy for you to become a Chunin if you did, Sasuke says, and Naruto growls silently, baring his teeth. Perhaps. You will notice, Naruto says as he leads them to the memorial stone, where they find their sensei. Oh, it seems my team got me, Kakashi Hatake says, wearing the standard Konoha uniform, his silver hair oriented to the right and his visible right eye turning into an eye smile. Senpai, you're always late. So I went on the offensive, Naruto says as he lowers his glasses and winks. Oh. Let us begin with an introduction. My name is Kakashi Hatake. I like and dislike a variety of things. My objectives are something you are not prepared for. Princess, now, says Kakashi. Hinata Hyuga is the heir to the Hyuga clan. I enjoy cinnamon buns. My sister and my training. I despise fools and weaklings. My ambition is to increase the greatness of my clan, Hinata states. Blondie, then Mr. Brooding, says Kakashi. Naruto sighs and rolls his shoulders, Naruto Uzumaki's likes are hazy. There are far too many dislikes and goals to list. That is none of your business, says Naruto. Uchiha Sasuke. I have preferences and dislikes. My ambition is to kill a certain man and restore my clan's honor, says Sasuke. Another eye smile from Kakashi, you have many different objectives. Because Naruto is a Chunin, the traditional Genin test would be invalid. So we'll meet tomorrow at 7 o'clock, he claims. 7 or 10? Asks Naruto. 7, Kakashi says before disappearing with Leaf Shunshin. As Hinata stares at Naruto, Sasuke says nothing and walks away. Naruto, you've changed. You've darkened and taken on the appearance of a predator, she claims. Times change, Hinata. I'm no longer the happy idiot of our group, Naruto says and adjusts his glasses. I need to meet with someone. Please excuse me, he says before disappearing. I will find out your secrets, Naruto. You are to be my tool after all, Hinata thinks as she stares at the memorial stone. Compound Inuzuka. Sume looks at her best friend's son and her daughter's master. How is Hana? She asks after drinking some vodka provided by Naruto. The blonde pours himself a drink and gulps it down in one gulp. Hana is excellent. She can finally be around the triplets without any problems, Naruto elaborates. That's great. So impersonating you is acceptable to her, Sume inquires, and Naruto slowly nods before reaching into his cargo pocket and tossing a scroll to Sume. That is a marriage agreement. I'm sure Gramps will reveal my ancestry soon. So that is a proactive move, says Naruto. Sume opens the scroll, which has been signed by both Naruto and Hana. Well, looks like I'll have to name Kiba as heir, she says, and he mumbles an apology, but Sume laughs. Don't be concerned, pup. Hana had always admired Kushina and wanted her to marry her son. Forever connects me to my best friend, Sume claims. I wish I had grown up with her, Naruto muses, while Kyuubi huffs. Kushina would have killed anyone who harmed you, Sume says, before launching into a series of stories about Kushina when they were younger. Naruto is so engrossed in Sume's stories that he doesn't notice Kiba walking in with his puppy Akamaru. "What the hell are you doing here?" exclaims Kiba. Naruto looks up to see Kiba and Akamaru, nothing but dog breath. "I'm looking for a ninkin," says Naruto. Sume interjects, "How's your team assignment, pup?" Kiba scoffs, ignoring Naruto. "I'm stuck on a team with Shino and Sasuke's #1 fangirl. Our sensei is a man named Genma, but he is only here temporarily because our other sensei is ill," Kiba elaborates. "She won't drain you dry," Sume and Naruto reasoned. "Well, I should be going, Lady Sume," Naruto says as he snaps his fingers. "Sorry you too, Akamaru," he apologizes, and Kiba looks at him. Naruto leaves the Inuzuka compound and travels to the Forest of Death, then to the forest's northeastern sector. The blonde lands in a small clearing and looks around, but a small blur slams into his leg, revealing itself to be a medium-sized fox. It has gray and black fur with a small amount of white on the tip of her tail. "Hello, Tasuki," Naruto says as he kneels down and ruffles her hair. Tasuki yips a few times. Naruto pulls a scroll from his pocket and unseals some beef jerky for her, causing her to yip a few more times, and 3 small fox kits and a male fox emerge from the treeline. "Oh. You're a mother now. Congrats," says Naruto. The 4 new foxes were tired of Naruto but approached slowly, with the kits going for the jerky. "They must have smelled me on you," says Kyubi, and Naruto mentally nods. Tasuki sits in Naruto's lap while the male observes the kits eating, but Naruto rubs his head. "You'll also need a name." As well as the kits, he muses and thinks for a moment. "How about Hoshi for star?" says Naruto, and the male agrees, causing Naruto to smile. Now, on to the kits. "What about Hano as a fire?" "Suchi for earth and Kori for ice," Natsu muses, and Tasuki yips, licking his cheek, and Natsu laughs. Naruto continues to play with the fox family, and they soon flee, prompting Naruto to look up and see Hiruzen looking down. "Thanks." "If people were aware that foxes lived here," Naruto says, and Hiruzen falls to the ground. "I'm familiar with Naruto. So, when did you tell me that some of Ne still exists?" Hiruzen says as he smokes his pipe. Naruto gets to his feet and dusts himself off. "We can make use of them. They are devoted to me in Shisui's image. They can do things that Anbu cannot," he claims. Hiruzen paused for a moment, and Naruto was correct. "Okay, but I'd like to meet them face to face." "How did team placements go?" he claims. Kakashi decided not to take the Genin exams. Naruto begins, and Hiruzen nods. "Understandable. The bell test doesn't work with only 2 people," Hiruzen muses. Sasuke is conceited. He believes that becoming a Chunin is simple if someone like me can do it. "Hinata is wary of me and regards me as a tool," Naruto elaborates. That statement will haunt Sasuke, and Hinata's thoughts are concerning. "Hiashi hasn't been the best father, but for her to see you as a tool," Hiruzen claims. "She may be aware of my status and sees me as a means to depose her father or as a bid for her freedom," Naruto speculates. "Keep an eye on her. Now I'll call a council meeting in 2 weeks, but only the shinobi half will attend. Your evidence will enable me to clear the civilian portion as well." Naruto nods as Hiruzen says. "I'll have my queens prepared." "Will you make an announcement to the village?" says Naruto. "I'll do it for the Chunin examinations." "Jiraiya will also be present," Naruto frowns as Hiruzen says. "He's about to get a rude awakening." "Regardless. What do you want me to do?" I am unable to participate, says Naruto. Hiruzen relights his pipe and looks up at the sky. I have a plan, but I need to confirm some information first, he says, and Naruto nods as the older man vanishes with Leaf Shunshin. Crafty old man, Kyuubi remarks, before vanishing. The following day, Memorial Stone. Sensei, I've failed your son, Kakashi says ruefully as he stares at the memorial stone. Former students of the 4th Hokage frequently came here to lament his failures, including the loss of Obito, the deaths of Rin, Minato, and Kushina, and, finally, the failure to protect their son. I thought you said 7 senpai, a voice says, causing Kakashi to turn and rub the back of his neck. Ma. It's only 8 o'clock. Where have you gone, teammates? Kakashi inquires. The practice field. I came here first because I don't like getting up so early, Naruto says as he adjusts his sunglasses. As Naruto lifts his glasses to rub his eyes, Kakashi waves his hand to apologize. So, how does this work? Lord Third assured me that I would not be required to perform D ranks, says Naruto. You will, however, supervise them or a clone. We'll also do team building exercises. They won't be ready for a serious mission for a few months, Kakashi clarifies. That is acceptable. So, how are things between you and Tenzo, Kino, or whoever she is now? Says Naruto. Nothing, and she goes by Yamato now. Why? Kakashi sputters, his eyes wide. I should see her about the Mokaton. I'm curious, so let's go, senpai, Naruto says, and Kakashi narrows his eyes, as they make their way to training ground number 7, the blonde adds. The last devoted Uchiha and princess of the Hyuga awaited the pair, the former staring at both. I'm sorry for being late, but Naruto came to find me, says Kakashi. Naruto did say you were notoriously late, Hinata says as she rises to her feet and dusts off her navy blue shorts. Her outfit is completed by a light lavender sleeveless kimono-style blouse with vertical lines tied with a dark purple obi, fingerless arm-length gloves, thigh-high stockings, and black high-heel kunoichi boots. Kakashi smiles at the couple. Okay, before we embark on our first mission, I'd like to engage in some friendly sparring. You will both face Naruto. This allows me to assess your skill sets. Can you now use the Juken without your Byakugan, Hinata? He says, to which the heiress nods. Alright, Sasuke, you go first, says Kakashi. Sasuke makes no sound and looks the blonde in the eyes. His uniform consists of a navy blue short-sleeve shirt with a high collar, white cargo shorts, and white arm warmers with bandages around his legs into blue sandals. Naruto removes his sunglasses and places them in his vest, rolling his neck a few times as he shifts into a relaxed stance. Sasuke gives Naruto a serious look before lowering his stance and firing several shuriken. Naruto dodges to the right, but Sasuke appears behind him, forcing him to block a high spin kick. He has good speed and maneuverability, Kakashi observed. Naruto uses Sasuke's kick momentum to push himself back into a stid, but Sasuke closes the gap with a flurry of strikes. As Sasuke becomes frustrated, Naruto blocks evenly and cleanly, giving Kakashi insight into their skill sets. Naruto is provoking Sasuke and forcing errors, Kakashi reasoned. I wonder who taught him, Hinata thinks as she narrows her eyes as Naruto moves with grace and inhuman fluidity. How is the Dobi this powerful, Sasuke wondered, leaping back with a scowl on his face. Naruto smirks at Sasuke, but his blue eyes widen as Sasuke spams several signs and comes to a halt at Tiger, declaring, Kaiten, Jikaki no Jutsu, and firing a large fireball at Naruto. Oi, this isn't a full contact spar, Kakashi exclaims as the fireball lands on Naruto. With a glance to the burning pile, Sasuke scoffs, but only a log remains, he's known as a Chunin.
He should be able to deal with it, but jerks, he says.
You're right, Naruto says as he abruptly lets Sasuke go, pushing him forward. Sasuke grabs a kunai to attack Naruto, but Kakashi blocks his path enough. This was supposed to be a sparring match. Not an all-out brawl, but I was impressed with your abilities, says Kakashi. Hinata. Your turn, adds Kakashi. As Hinata steps forward and slips into her family's Juken, Naruto rubs both of his arms. Hinata advances, but Naruto makes the first move with a whistling left straight, forcing Hinata to parry and counter quickly. Impressive Hinata, but you seem rigid in your stance, Naruto says, narrowing her eyes. Hinata unleashes a barrage of strikes, chakra exploding with each block, but she can't tell if his tenketsu points are closing. How dare he look at me with those eyes, Hinata exclaims, her center of gravity shifting as Naruto moves his foot behind her leg, knocking her off balance. As Naruto sends a right straight but stops at her nose, Hinata corrects, yield, he says. Enough, Kakashi says, and Naruto steps back. Okay, I have a rough understanding. Hinata, you excel at your clan's taijutsu, but I believe your movements are a little too linear. You let your rage get the best of you, Sasuke. For the time being, we'll focus on your shortcomings. Let's go to the mission hall now, Kakashi continues. I'll see you later, Senpai, Naruto says as he walks away. Will he be doing missions with us? Hinata inquires as they exit the training grounds. Yes, but he will not be required for D ranks. We'll meet him later for additional training, according to Kakashi. As Sandame and Iruka sat at a desk in the mission hall, Team 7 arrived. Oh, Team 7. Here's your first mission, Iruka states. Yes. Any specific missions? Says Kakashi. Iruka goes through the missions, and the more they heard, the more upset they became, or rather, one of them became. Where is Naruto? Asks Iruka. On another mission.
I've authorized Naruto not to take D-rank missions.
He's handling certain things for me, Hiruzen says. Death Forest. Thank you for meeting with me, Tenzo. Kino, Naruto says as a female Anbu with the designation of Tigerlands behind him. Tiger takes off her mask, revealing a roundish face, long brown hair, and black, almond-shaped eyes. I go by Yamato now, Tiger says, her face solemn, and Naruto turns away. Right, Yamato. Did Lord Third explain things? Says Naruto. He did. Because of your ancestors. You obtained the Mokuton and the Sharingan from Danzo, Naruto nods as Yamato explains. Yamato's eyes narrow as the blonde closes and opens his right eye to reveal a blue Sharingan. Why is it blue? Yamato wonders. My bloodline assimilated it to my body, Naruto says, as Yamato cups her chin in thought. Okay, fine. I can perform the jutsu, and your Sharingan should be able to replicate it, Yamato explains, and Naruto nods slowly. Yamato begins with several signs and ends with a snake, Mokuton. Daijira no Jutsu, she says as she creates several wooden stakes with her arm. Interesting, says Naruto as he performs the signs and recreates the same jutsu, but his tree bark is black. Indeed, Yamato says as he begins performing several more jutsu. Naruto learned how to use the wood-locking wall, wood clone, four-pillar prison and house, tree-bind flourishing burial, and sea of trees nativity. It doesn't compare to Shodem-sama, says Yamato. Naruto rolls his neck several times, saying, I doubt anyone could, and cleaning his sunglasses. How are things with Kakashi? Naruto inquires, and Yamato responds, you could scare even Madara Uchiha with that face, he adds. Then don't ask about things that don't concern you, Yamato says, raising his arms in defeat. Right, Tiger Senpai, says Naruto. It would be preferable if you did not make your additions public. It has the potential to be disastrous, Naruto nods as Yamato explains. Indeed. If any of the more unscrupulous council members discovered I or my brood have the ability to gain bloodlines, it could reach certain ears, Naruto says. Yamato puts on her tiger mask again. I would concur. See you in a month for a test, she says before disappearing with Leaf Shunshin. Naruto raises his glasses, and they transform into his Anbu mask. It is not wise to spy on people, he says as he slips it on. A young man with ash-gray hair emerges from behind the tree, his onyx eyes hidden behind black-rimmed circular glasses. I'm sorry. I was looking for herbs, the person says, but Naruto snorts. Cut the nonsense, Kabuto. I recognize you. You've been looking the whole time. My perceptions are inhuman, Naruto says, smirking as he adjusts his glasses. Nothing escapes the sight of the infamous Kaiketsuki, says Kabuto. Naruto appears in the background. No, it does not. I even have Danzo's memories. So I'm aware of all your secrets, as well as his dealings with a certain snake. Kabuto freezes, but the blonde vampire titters. Tell him everything you know.
Enko and I will have a good time tearing his soul apart.
Now follow me, spy, Naruto croons and bursts into a crow murder. As his eyes were obscured by his glasses, Kabuto felt a bead of sweat run down his brow. This complicates things, he thought before disappearing. Konoha Council Room, 2 weeks later. Hiruzen sits with his pipe in his mouth as the clan heads arrive, beginning with Choza Akamichi, Shikaku Nara, Inoichi Yamanaka, Sume Inuzuka, and Hiyashi Hyuga. Homura and Kaharu are soon joined by the Anbu commander known as Dragon, who is dressed in standard Anbu garb but has a black hooded cloak with white hair visible. I called this council meeting to discuss certain issues, Hiruzen begins. What matters, Sandame-sama? Inquires Inoichi. Hiruzen turns to face Homura and Kaharu. Kaiketsuki has discovered evidence that Danzo was a traitor, he begins, and the room falls silent. Was, Choza inquires, and Hiruzen nods. Kaiketsuki executed him, as well as nearly all of his ostensibly defunct nei. The remaining members have sworn allegiance to him and myself, Hiruzen continues. This is unsettling. Danzo has always been a hardliner, but betraying the village he loves is unthinkable, Shikaku expresses himself. True, but Danzo chose to betray Konoha in his misguided quest for the Hokage seat, and he paid the price with his life. So will his co-conspirators once they are apprehended, Hiruzen says while clearing his throat. The next matter concerns Kaiketsuki, or as you all know him, Naruto Uzumaki, Hiruzen begins, snapping his fingers as the doors open and Naruto enters. The blonde vampire is dressed in black pants with 3 buttons securing some material around the knees and knee-length boots with a small heel. A blood-red dress shirt with a black suit vest, a chain pocket watch accessory, and a black tie and white gloves complete the look. Shit. If Hana hadn't marked him as her alpha. Hell, I would, Sume thought, as Naruto smiled, winking slightly, and the older woman smirked. I will reveal Naruto Trukun's ancestry once the Chunin exam finals begin. This village has long disgraced his parents' sacrifice. Years ago, I gave in to peer pressure, but not any longer, Hiruzen claims. The revelation of his ancestors could spark civil unrest. Perhaps we should break this information down. Our adversaries could use this to paint Konoha in a negative light, Kaharu expresses himself. Then allow them. Konoha is not the same place where my parents died. People and ninja have become sluggish and require a wake-up call, Naruto says, and Homura looks at him. I'm sorry to say that I agree with Naruto. Minato wanted his son to be remembered as a hero, and we were all terrified. Lying to ourselves and allowing our Yondaime's son to be treated as if he were not human. According to Inoichi, both Homura and Kaharu wanted to rebuke those words, but they couldn't because they didn't have Danzo to back them up. Will the CRA be used on him? Asks Hiyashi. As the doors reopen, Naruto looks to the Hyuga Patriarch and snaps his fingers. Anko, Kurenai, Hana, and Yugu walk in wearing fitted dark blue jeans that highlight their legs, thighs, ass, and boots with a heel. White dress shirts with black buttons and black ties of various lengths are worn with black high-collar coats that look like capes and have red inner linings. Shikaku was the first to notice how pale everyone was, as well as the glint in their eyes. You passed your bloodline to them, he says. Yes, I did. These 4 women made a promise to my mother and agreed to be my companions and wives. That's 4 out of 6, Naruto elaborates. That's correct. Lady Kushina requested that we protect her son. So we did our best, and now we're his wives, Anko begins, her eyes turning a brilliant purple. Body, Hana continues, her eyes gleaming. Kurenai and Yugu finish, and Soul, with glowing eyes. It appears they answered your question, Hiyashi-sama, the dragon says, his and her voices male and female. Yes. Naruto-kun is betrothed to the 4 of them and will take his position as a member of the Shinobi Council. Hiruzen coughs to draw their attention back to him. That is not acceptable to us. He does not deserve to be a member of the council. If you let him. Then Sasuke-sama should also be on the council, Kaharu expresses himself. Genin is a wet behind the ears. I am an Anbu captain with 4 wives, Naruto makes a remark. One of my best, adds the dragon. Whatever your feelings are on the subject, Naruto-kun is now a member of the council. What is being said in this room right now is to stay in this room. If this gets out, I'm going to send Naruto and his ice queens after you, Hiruzen says, causing the 5 vampires to grin to emphasize his point. Hiruzen dismisses the council and tosses a photo of a young girl with red hair and eyes towards Naruto. Her name is Karen, Hiruzen begins. Naruto takes the photo and turns to look at Hiruzen. She lives in Kusagakure and is an Uzumaki, Hiruzen says, and Naruto's eyes widen. Hiruzen lights his pipe and takes a short draw. I needed to double-check the information. Currently a civilian, Kusa intends to draft her as a ninja, he claims. If that occurs, Kurenai says. Yes. I am sending Naruto as the leader of the Uzumaki clan to claim her, Hiruzen says. Is she the only one? Asks Naruto. According to the information, she had a mother who died a few years ago. Naruto, what I discovered is concerning. I need you to leave right away. The clock is ticking. Kusa will not abandon her if she becomes a ninja. Despite the fact that you are allies, if Kusa tries to rebuke you, give them this, Hiruzen says as he hands the blonde a scroll. On your orders, Lord Third, Naruto says as he takes the scroll and changes into his Anbu gear.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.